The meditation that I do is Vipassana meditation. It's mindfulness meditation. And it's really about being as you are in this moment, knowing your body as it is, knowing your mind as it is. So what we do in the beginning is we help people to focus or be more mindful of just one thing. For example, your breath, and to focus on feeling the breath, the in-breath, feeling the out-breath. This both calms your mind, but it helps you to feel exactly what's really happening now. As we start with the breath, then we can start to move to other parts of the body and be more mindful of various things that are happening here and now, like the sun shining on your face or the wind blowing, whatever's happening naturally. And then we learn how to watch our mind and to see thoughts as they are happening, but then also our mental reactions, the way we feel about our thoughts and the way we're reacting to our senses and to things around us in the world. And this is when it becomes really important to be mindful, and this meditation is training us in this mindfulness that we can use in our life, so that we know when we're getting angry, and we can actually learn from it. It's not just to get rid of anger, but it's actually to understand the nature of anger, so that you yourself realize, this doesn't help me. This doesn't make me happy. This doesn't make the world a better place. This isn't what I really want. And so the mind lets it go. When the mind lets it go, you feel happy already. So this meditation isn't about making people happy straight away. It's about seeing, what's stopping me from being happy? What are the blockages that block my happiness from naturally arising? Not only happiness, but love and peace and acceptance and forgiveness and compassion and all these beautiful things that we all have already in our mind. They're being blocked by these, let's say, negative or useless, sometimes harmful mental states. So it's also about insight. Mindfulness leads to insight, which means we understand more about our body and mind. And then if I understand myself, I can understand you, I can understand how the world unfolds, and then I naturally become more peaceful, more in harmony with myself, with other beings, especially people, and in fact the whole universe. And if we can communicate better, then we will have a better relationship. And the way to communicate better is for me to know how my mind is working, how my thoughts are running through my mind, and then how they manifest into speech and actions. And of course, if you know how your mind is working and how you are creating your speech and actions, then we will be able to understand each other much better. And actually this almost describes our entire life. Our life is made up of relationships, and our happiness depends on our ability to have beautiful relationships. The happiest people are the ones who have the best relationships, and the unhappy people are the ones who are unhappy in their relationships. So it comes back to communication, but then it comes back to awareness and wisdom in our communications, and obviously in our relationships. So again, mindfulness is the fundamental factor that we need to help us to know our minds, so then we can know how to communicate properly. We don't need to be in nature to meditate, but it certainly helps a lot. The reason is because we live with people, we live in somewhat false or artificial environments, and we lose our connection with nature, we lose our connection with Mother Earth and the energy of the earth. So it really is much better to go and sit on the beach and meditate, or sit in a beautiful garden like we are here at Limon Cafe, and connect with the natural energy, hear the birds, feel the wind, feel the sun, even the feeling of the earth itself, we call it grounding or earthing. That also gives you energy, but it also helps you to connect with your own true nature. So being in nature helps you to connect with nature. But of course, people meditate in buildings and, in their apartments and in the cities all over the world. And to a large extent, what I found is that your nature is inextricable from the universal nature. It cannot be separated. So your nature is universal nature. So you don't have to go to nature to meditate. You can use your mindfulness to connect with your own nature. Actually, then you're connected with all nature. The same thing is when you connect with your mind. Your mind is ethereal. It's not physical. Therefore, it doesn't matter where you are. So when you connect with your mind, you're connecting with, let's say, all consciousness everywhere. Then this is universal. When you come out to nature, it certainly enhances our energy and gives us more vitality. Actually, I believe everybody will feel better when they're in nature. At first, they may not, because they're so used to living in, false or artificial environments. But once they get their feet on the grass, or, feel their feet in the sand, or, even laying on a beach or something like that, naturally they're going to feel so much better. And it really does, being in nature really helps you to feel better within yourself. And it's a kind of mindfulness in itself. The other thing is that we're not eating enough natural foods. A lot of our foods are overcooked and processed, and this also means we're not getting nature through our vitamins and minerals and the things that we need. So not only should we live in more natural environments, but we should eat more natural food, raw food, unprocessed food, and this also is bringing the vitality of nature into our body. These days it seems that we are very much caught up in time, and actually time as we use it is actually an illusion. It's made up by humans. Time as we know it is made up of numbers, and those numbers are a human concept. Actually, in nature, there are no numbers. Animals don't use numbers. The trees, the plants, and all things in nature, they're not counting things, and therefore not accumulating things. There's no greediness as such. So there's no need for numbers in nature. But human beings, we're greedy, we want to accumulate things, and then we want to test things, time things, calculate things, and so we use numbers. Therefore we put time in this numerical order, a chronological order, and then we actually create stress for ourselves through this time. People who live in a timeless place, like living on a farm or living in nature, they, in the morning when the sun comes up, they get up and they do their work, and they're happy, they're not stressed by any time. And then when the sun goes down, you can't do any work, so you eat your food and you go to bed and you have a beautiful night's sleep because you worked hard all day, or you did your beautiful things in nature. So definitely time is really affecting us, and I really believe that people need to spend some time away from time. Like we need to have a timeless experience. And it's really interesting because meditation itself is a timeless space. You move into your mind, into your body, and you actually go beyond concepts. When you go beyond concepts, there's no past and no future. If I just sit here now and I just feel my breath breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, I'm not thinking about the past or the future. I'm not thinking about time. So the concept of time falls away. Even the concept of me or you or here or there or whatever falls away, and we're actually just experiencing the breath itself. This is timelessness, and this relieves our mind. This is one reason why meditation works for everybody, because we step out of the concept of past, future, and this linear or chronological time, and we basically come into a spacelessness or spaciousness. It could be spacelessness as well, emptiness or timelessness. It's very beautiful. It's like a holiday. I mean, you hear about the here and now, and you read it in books and things, but until you've really just been here and now, and you allow the sounds to come and go, the feelings in the body are in a constant state of change, even your breath flowing in and flowing out, and even thoughts, allowing a thought to come and go, even an emotion or a feeling, letting it come and go and feeling that process, It's very much about just being in the moment, accepting things as they are, and you will feel by yourself there's no stress. You're not worried, you're not afraid, you're not trying to control anything or make anything the way that you want it to be. It's like, okay, body's like this, mind's like this, environment's like this. Oh, here I am, here and now.